Hey everyone, Kevin Richards here from RockTheStageNYC.com and RPMVocalStudio.com on the web for voice lessons worldwide. What I'm going to talk to you today is about lesson sharks, the low cut rate and the high rate lesson sharks. First, let's talk about the low cut rate. These are the people that you'll see advertised maybe in your local paper or maybe on Craigslist somewhere or tacked up on a board at the music studio saying, you know, voice and piano lessons or guitar and voice lessons. What you're basically going to get is someone who's not very good at either one. Or they're only good at one. Usually if you see like piano and voice lessons or guitar and voice lessons, they decided to take on some singing students to supplement their income because they don't have enough students teaching guitar, which usually tells you that they're not a very good guitar teacher. A very good guitar teacher, especially local in town, would have a very good word of mouth and would be able to get really good students because his students would talk about him. So be wary of these double teachers that say voice and piano or piano and guitar or whatever, because you're probably going to get a mediocre lesson in either one. Because someone who's really good at the one thing that they do can get enough students to be able to make a living teaching that one thing. Also, watch out for teachers who advertise like $30 for a 30-minute lesson, or $20 or $25 for a 30-minute lesson, or $35 for a full hour lesson. You cannot get anything of substance in 30 minutes with a voice lesson because there are lots of variables that have to be discussed, things that have to be gone over, and there's a vocal warm-up and all that kind of stuff. You can't possibly get in anything worthwhile with the remaining time. In my hour-long lessons with students, when we first together, whether it's in city or here in New York City or on Skype, the first, 1/4 of the lesson is at least talking about how their week was, what's going on vocally with them. We kind of review what went on in the last lesson. If they have any questions for me, then I answer those questions, and then we do a vocal warm-up. By then, we're into the 20 and 25-minute mark of their lesson. What could I possibly do in 5 minutes for them if it was a 30-minute lesson? You're not going to get anything of substance in 30 minutes. Minimum vocal lesson is 1 hour. So don't go to anybody that charges for a half hour unless you're going to just work on a song. You don't want to do a vocal training, you just want to work on a song. You can do that within 30 minutes because I would then require the student to do their prep before we start the lesson, which is, do their vocal warm-up and all that ahead of time so that we can just go headlong right into the song. That you can do in 30 minutes. But if you're looking for vocal training, 30 minutes ain't going to cut it. So, watch out for the guys charging $35 for an hour lesson. What you're going to become part of is a revolving door of students all throughout the day because he has to put a lot of students in that particular day to make a living. So he's not really going to give you the attention that you demand because he's just looking to get you out and get the next student in. Because he's got to get you all in that day without getting himself backed up or going over time. So he's watching the clock. It is very common for me in terms of my Skype students, and even sometimes here in New York City with my students, to go over the 1 hour mark because I want to make sure that they understand what we went over in the lesson correctly and they can go and then practice that for the following week. Fully understanding what it is they need to do. I will go an hour 10, an hour 15. Some of my Skype students, I've gone 90 minutes for a paid 60-minute lesson because I wanted to make sure that they understood what we went through, and I'm answering questions and things like that for them. I do not watch the clock, per se, because I'm really invested in making sure that you are trained correctly and that you can go and sing because I really enjoy watching people improve as they sing. It's just something I enjoy to do. Nobody is part of a revolving door with me. So, and then watch out for the guys who charge $300 an hour and $500 a lesson. You're not going to get more is better. A $300 lesson, you are not going to be imparted some mystical, unknown to the public voice technique and methodology that no one has ever seen before, something secret society. The voice only works correctly one way. Sure, there are many ways to teach that one way, and each teacher kind of has their unique approach to teaching it, but the voice only really works correctly one way. Paying $300 for a voice lesson is not going to give you some magical technique that's going to fix your voice in one lesson, nor are they going to give you any kind of advice that no one's ever seen or heard before. You will get the same lesson for someone who charges a third of that, maybe 150, 175, 150, 100, 80. You're going to get a quality lesson for that money. It's the same as you're going to get for 300. You're not going to get a better lesson for 300. The guys who charge 500 are only looking to make a lot of money without having to work a lot. And bless them if they can find people stupid enough to pay that amount of money. But if they can, more power to them. They only need to have like 4 students a week to make a really good living. To me, that's just lazy, and they're not really invested in really helping singers. Because when you charge $300 or $500 a lesson, you're basically outpricing every beginner and novice singer because you don't want to work with them. People who charge $300 and $500 only want to work with professionals who can afford that type of rate every week. Or people rich enough to be able to throw away money like that. Either way, they're not really invested in working with the beginner. Someone who charges 80 or 100 is going to be worth your time. Don't cheapen your education. They're really invested in wanting to teach you how to sing. $300, $500, they don't want to begin. If you're a beginner singer, they don't want to work with you. They're basically saying this to you by outpricing you out of that lesson. Watch for teachers who require you to buy their vocal course or their vocal book or something. They have to buy something of theirs to be able to take a lesson. What they're trying to do is basically get some kind of money out of you, whether you take lessons. You don't have to buy my vocal course to take lessons with me. They're priced exactly the same. You can do either one or both if you like, but you don't have to buy one to get the other. If you want to just train at home with my vocal course, please do. Please buy it, train at home, email me questions, or take the $25 a week voice evaluations, and we can go over some of the things in the course to make sure you're doing it correctly. Or you can just take lessons with me, either Skype or here in New York City. One of the two. You don't have to buy my course to take lessons with me. And I am invested 100% in making sure you learn how to sing correctly. So watch out for these high and low lesson sharks. They're basically out for your money. Till next time, this is Kevin Richards. Rock the stage. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video, whatever you like. Check out the links below to learn about taking lessons with me or buying my vocal course or just subscribing to the channel. Till next time, Kevin Richards. See ya.